Team Obama working overtime to derail Trump administration's Iran policy. Members of the Obama administration, the most failed administration in history with regards to foreign policy, are now working overtime to derail Donald Trump's hardline on Iran and the scrapping of this terrible, terrible Iran deal. And one could only ask, why? The lead architect of this shadow diplomacy, which in reality is illegal, and we're going to get into why, is, of course, none other than John Kerry, one of the most ineffective, weakest secretaries of state in U.S. history. This from CNN, they're gloating. Former Secretary of State John Kerry has been engaging in shadow diplomacy. That's not shadow diplomacy. He is subverting U.S. foreign policy. What he's doing is most likely illegal. It looks like it's illegal. I'm going to read you the statute on that in just a little bit. Been engaging in shadow diplomacy to try to preserve the nuclear deal with Iran, the Iran nuclear deal, a major diplomatic achievement of his, according to a new report. No, it was a major failure of his. It made him look like a fool. It shamed him. It's embarrassing because Iran was telling him one thing and screwing him behind his back. They had so little respect for John Kerry. They looked at John Kerry as such a weak, epic failure. They didn't care what they did when he wasn't around. They made a fool of John Kerry. They made an absolute fool of him. Now, over recent months, this is from a CNN piece. CNN is making John Kerry seem as if he's the world's greatest negotiator, is going to save us from the evils of Donald Trump's winning. Over recent months, Kerry has been holding meetings and speaking with big players in the Iran nuclear who, like Kerry, do not want President Donald Trump to withdraw the U.S. from the deal, the Boston Globe reported. They don't matter. John Kerry doesn't matter. He does not matter. He is nobody. He's nobody. He's a private citizen who used to be Secretary of State. He has no right, no legal authority, and no power to talk to or negotiate anything. Trump should tell all of D.C., John Kerry, that idiot, is persona non grata. Now, he, according to the Boston Globe, story from just over the weekend here, just from Friday, he says John Kerry sat down at the United Nations with Foreign Minister Javad Zarif to discuss ways of preserving the pact, limiting Iran's nuclear weapons program. There's no authority to do that. John Kerry has no authority to go to the UN and negotiate with Iran's foreign minister on behalf of the U.S. This is ridiculous. It was the second time in 2 months that the two had met to strategize over salvaging a deal that they spent years negotiating during the Obama administration, according to a person briefed on the meetings. Now, if this is true, this poses even more legal questions for John Kerry. Why has he been meeting for 2 months with the Iranian foreign minister to preserve a deal when the intelligence that Israel provided, that's pretty much the smoking gun needed to scrap the deal, well, that only surfaced a week ago? Did John Kerry know that Iran was cheating on the deal? Did John Kerry know that Iran was enriching nuclear materials for weaponization? And he lied to America. He lied to the world. And he helped Iran conceal it. Is John Kerry complicit in Iran developing nuclear weapons while lying to the global community about doing that? That's a question that needs to be dug into. That is a question that needs to be looked into. Now, Kerry has also met with German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. He's been on the phone with top EU official Federica Mogherini. Don't know who she is. He has also met with French President Emmanuel Macron. Macron likes Trump. He probably thinks Kerry's a moron. And the Globe goes on to say, the rare moves by a former Secretary of State highlight the stakes for Kerry personally, as well as for other Obama-era diplomats who are dismayed by what they see as Trump's disruptive approach to diplomacy and who view the Iran nuclear deal as a factor for stability in the Middle East and for global nuclear proliferation. Now, this is why nobody takes CNN seriously. CNN is writing with a straight face. This isn't satire. This isn't theonion.com, okay? That entering into this deal and maintaining this deal with Iran, a state sponsor of terror, who we now have irrefutable proof, 105,000 files that Israeli intelligence grabbed, irrefutable proof that Iran was lying to the world and weaponizing their nuclear material under the guise of the Iran deal, which under the deal we had no right to inspect anything, so Iran was able to sign a deal and then be able to be protected by that deal to enrich its uranium, its plutonium in private, to weaponize those for, as the materials told us, 5 warheads, each with a 10 kiloton TNT yield. About 4 to 5 times more powerful than the bombs we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II. Pretty powerful bombs. Would essentially eradicate the state of Israel. Would eradicate Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Would be given to terrorists to create suitcase bombs dropped in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Dallas, Houston, Miami. You can pretty much cripple the United States. John Kerry wants them to keep doing that. John Kerry wants them to keep doing that because for some bizarre reason, John Kerry wants Iran to have nuclear weapons. It is inexplicable. Inexplicable. But then again, it's John Kerry. We don't need to explain it. We just need to know that this guy is the biggest moron ever to stand on the world stage. So Michael O'Hanlon, a foreign policy expert at the Brookings Institution, said, quote, "It is unusual for a former Secretary of State to engage in foreign policy like this as an actual diplomat and quasi-negotiator." No, it's not unusual. It's unheard of. It is unheard of. It is unprecedented. And Kerry declined to be interviewed for the story, and people believe that Kerry is going to have this backfire and upset Trump even more, and it should. It should. Look, this once again proves something, okay? It once again proves that the only collusion's not a crime, but the only collusion actually happening is by Democrats. Hillary Clinton colluded with Fusion GPS to rig the election against Trump, and then colluded, it appears, with DOJ and FBI officials. All right? John Kerry colluding with Iran to allow Iran to keep nuclear weapons. This is absolutely disgraceful. And it may very well be a criminal violation of 18 U.S. Code 953, private correspondence with foreign governments, more commonly known as the Logan Act. I'm going to read you the Logan Act. We're going to go much deeper into this story on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified, today, right here on The Rebel. This is really important stuff. I want to bring it to you every day, so help me do it. Subscribe to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows. Go to the App Store, download the Rebel app. It's awesome. And go to firescottisrael.com. Sign our petition, if you haven't already, to have Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel removed for his abysmal handling of the Parkland shooting and many other matters. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.